They're only human. They do their best not to think of him and what he used to be. To Foggy Nelson, he was partner and best friend. To Gloriana O'Brien, he was the man she loved. They do their best. You be careful now, Foggy. Yow! Foggy! Foggy, are you alright? No problem, Glory. Landed on some of my best padding. Better get the phone. Glory. What? Foggy. It was Matt, and he didn't make any sense. The window's closed, but you'd never know it, not with the stiff breeze that's blowing through it, giving me a sweetheart of a cramp in my lower back. 6 inches of snow outside and still no heat in the room. And here I'd planned on staying at the plaza. That was before I discovered that the IRS had made my credit cards so much worthless plastic, left me with $10 to my name. I found a hotel that made change. Place smells like rat hair. I'd much rather stay with a friend. Show me one and I'll stay with him. Show me one single person in the world who hasn't betrayed me. Just a few days ago, I was a pillar of my community, a respected figure in my profession. Not to mention my sideline of being a superhero. Now, I'm just a blind man. A blind man who's lost his job, his livelihood, his home, his girl, who fate gave the ability to hear and smell and touch better than anybody in the world can, which is a great way to catch all the misery of being alive. Just a few days ago. No, I should have seen all this coming. Started months ago. Things going wrong for me. Just little things, at first. The kind you try not to notice. The kind that add up until you want to. For the longest time, I chalked it up to unpleasant circumstance. I'm that kind of guy. Took a lot to convince me what was really going on. Fact is, first time I had the thought, it sounded, well, it didn't make any sense. But the evidence kept piling up. The phone company, the power company, Internal Revenue, the grand jury, my best friend, my lover, the list goes on. All of them, working together. All of them out to get me. No, I'm going. It's the Kingpin. The Kingpin, yes. He's the only real enemy I have. I've caused him a lot of trouble. Fighting crime, since that's his business, it follows that I'd cause him trouble. It makes sense that I'd cause him trouble. It's the Kingpin. Somehow he found out that I'm Daredevil. He bribed and threatened everybody it took to destroy me. I've given this a lot of thought. Why I haven't left this room. To think and put together a plan and get enough sleep. I seem to need so much sleep. But it's all worked out now. I've got my strategy. I'm going to go to the Kingpin, and I'm gonna kill him. No, I won't kill him. I don't do that. I'll just beat him until he promises to give me my life back. I'll get up right this minute, and walk to the door and leave the room, and... I'm tired. He is the Lord of Crime. He has gathered the warring gangs of the city, organized them into an army. No, a business so efficient and so profitable that the city's economy depends on the thieves, extortionists, and murderers at his command. He is the Kingpin, and Matthew Murdock has become the light of his days. As Daredevil, Murdock had cost him little, but hounded him, annoyed him, as a fly would. Now, with all the joy of a malicious child, the Kingpin tortures the fly. It began with the revelation of Daredevil's weak side, his secret identity. With a few brief phone calls, the Kingpin shattered Murdock's life, beyond all hope of reconstruction. That would have been the end of it, were it not for the sweet discovery. That Matthew Murdock is a man on the edge, that even before his ruin, he was nearly mad. Were Murdock tied to a rack, slowly torn limb from limb, begging for mercy. The spectacle could be no more pleasurable to behold. The kingpin looks at his city and thinks of how wonderful it is to be alive. 2 blocks away, some idiot is playing a radio. The big kind. It's stuck between stations, but that doesn't stop the idiot from playing it loud. It's spitting out half words that make no sense and static that makes anyone in earshot feel like a Rice Krispie. And I'm always in earshot. Always. That car alarm won't ease up either. Doesn't care how tired I am. Might as well get up, walk out the door, get something to eat. Walk out the door. Got $2 left. That's enough to buy me some breakfast. Get some food in me and I'll be fine. Then I'll hit the gym. No gym. The kingpin blew it up. Maybe I'll hit the kingpin. He'd make a good punching bag. He's fat enough. Walk out the door. I walk out and a kind stranger gives me a ride uptown to the kingpin's headquarters. And I punch the kingpin out and he begs for mercy and gives me my life back and surrenders to the police. And everybody knows it's me who beat him. And there's a parade. Must have dozed. Was going to leave. Turn the doorknob. I'm not calling Glory again. She doesn't deserve me. It's the operator I'm calling. To find out what time it is. No, Matt. Please, don't say such things. Let me speak to him, Glory. Matt, this is Foggy. He hung up. What the devil's wrong with him? Oh, Foggy, I'm on to you, Nelson. Then it happens. Footsteps in the hallway. Coming this way. Coming closer. Closer. Breathing through his mouth like fat people do. Wheezing, grunting, stopping. Stopping right outside my door. Right outside my door. Muttered curse. Keys jangling. Lock turning. He's good. Sounds and smells just like the kind of phlegmy cigar-smoking pig who'd run a dive like this. Dribbles spit on my hand and goes limp. It's a good feint. I let him get away with it. No point in questioning him. I know who sent him. And I'm coming for you, Kingpin. It is indeed behavior of the least normal sort that I observe while perusing Matt Murdock as per your advisement, Kingpin. He drops the hotel manager to the floor as one would drop a bag of fish which one does not want, whereupon he exits said hotel. To walk to the 14th Street entrance of the Uptown D train like a man repossessed. I myself gain admittance to the very same subway car as Murdoch, there to observe him to be in a state of extreme aggregation. We proceed without incitement to the Pennsylvania station stop, whereat 3 youths board brandishing 9mm handguns of the street variety, loudly declaiming their intention of depraving the passengers of their personal effects. Hereat one elderly man attempts a frantic disembarkation. One of the youths administers to him a reprimand that is of a physical nature. And Murdoch does nothing? Nothing, boss. At this moment I now describe, that is. At this junction the youths do then accost each passenger in turn, admonishing them into emptying their purses and wallets into a D. Agostino's grocery store shopping bag, even as they forcibly require a necklace from the woman next to him. Murdoch seems unappreciative as to the communal predicament. It is not until he himself faces the business end of one of the aforedescribed firearms that Murdoch manifests combat acumen of startling proportion. Leave us say, his response is extreme, every detail. His first move I am unfortuitously unable to articulate as I myself am momentarily distracted. Suffice to say, the youth suffers damage of a structural nature to his wrist, then to his ribs, and to his jaw, which makes with a noise not unlike that of a Coke bottle bursting. As for the second youth, his attempt to withstand Murdoch's assault is interrupted by the sudden rearrangement of his spine. It is the last of them who succeeds in firing his pistol, but Murdoch is, as I said, a man repossessed. Henceforth, the train comes to a stop at 42nd Street. The doors open. Murdoch whirls at a shouted command. Lovely, lovely. The command is of the constabulative variety. Ferocious, stupid, every man his enemy. I could not dream of a more perfect hell. I envy you, you blessed little worm. You have witnessed the death of a noble man. The pleasures of his coming attack will be nothing compared to this. You think he's coming here? I know it. Foggy, it's Matt. No, please don't hang up. I need your help. I think I'm sick, Foggy. There's something wrong with my mind. I just beat up a cop. You see, it's the Kingpin. I keep thinking everybody's working for him, and oh yeah, I know that. Practically everybody is working for him. But this was just a cop, and there was no reason to, and what? Oh, you sure? Okay, well, maybe the cop, but there's something wrong with me, Foggy. But if I go there, I'll try to kill the Kingpin. But oh, okay, buddy. I'll give it my best shot. It's so hot. It's always so hot here. No wonder they take siestas. Makes it so hard to keep running. And now she can barely catch her breath. Can barely talk to tell the American operator the number she wants. The number she needs. She remembers the number. She'd never forget it. And now the line goes dead as the operator calls it. And she remembers the man. Matt. The man she loved once. The man she betrayed. The man who could save her life. But now the operator is saying the number has been disconnected. But she knows she got it right, and Matt would never move. He loves that house. She makes the operator check for her, and there's no listing. And she sees that Karen Page knows she has to run again. Yes, he's a friend of mine. That's why I know there's something rotten going on here, Jonah. Seemed pretty cut and dry to me, Yurik. Your pal Murdoch got caught with his pants down. Matt's straight, Jonah. You don't know how straight. This is a frame by the Kingpin. The Kingpin? What the devil's a blind lawyer got to do with the Kingpin? I can't tell you that, Jonah, but I want this story, and I'll write it. For one paper or another. Isn't like you to take a stand, Ben. Come right in, Mr. Murdoch. Mr. Fisk is expecting you. Sure, and this is worse than when he does call. Perhaps you could try that hotline again, Foggy? No point, Glory. That little creep will just try to analyze me again. When a bomb went off back in Ireland, it was like this. Waiting, not knowing. Can't bring myself to call the cops. So close they came. So close this time. Shakes are coming again. She'd throw up if there were anything in her stomach. How'd she get started on the junk? How'd she get here? How... Matt, where is he? He always made so much sense of things. Can't keep hiding. New York, that's where Matt is, phone or not. She has to get there, any way she can. Never give up. Never. It would be a joy to end it there. Something about the man brings to the Kingpin a bloodlust he has not felt since his youth. It takes an effort of will to restrain himself from tearing Murdoch limb from limb. But the Kingpin is a careful man. There are details to consider. Murdoch's death must be neither mysterious nor suspicious. There must be no room for questions, no room for investigation. Unconscious but living, Murdoch is placed in a stolen checker cab. The cab is driven off Pier 41 into the East River. Its safety belt and doors are corroded shut by a chemical process that is identical to rust. Murdoch is drenched in whiskey. A bottle, open, is laid in his lap. The owner of the cab is beaten to death by Murdoch's stolen billy club. Days pass into weeks. Still, Murdoch is never far from the crime lord's thoughts. He imagines one last terrible moment of realization. Of Murdoch thrashing wildly, desperately, hatefully, screaming soundlessly into the poisoned water. The Kingpin shudders at the thought, in pleasure. The world seems flooded with sunlight. Daily business becomes a joyous, childlike game. He is disgraced, destroyed, and murdered the only good man he has ever known. This is his triumph of the spirit. At last, the cab is discovered. There is blood, and bloody evidence of a struggle. There is a shattered windshield, a safety belt severed by the windshield's glass, and what must have been a hideous effort of will. There is no corpse. There is no corpse. There is no corpse.